So today we're working with my client here whose hair has started to dread and mat. Want to see the results? Stay tuned. Hey guys, Crystal here from Elite Hair Care USA. So my client here came in today because she's been wearing wigs, and under the wigs she hasn't really been taking amazing care of her hair. So what has started to happen is, of course, she does have a case of alopecia, but her hair has began to lock and dread on the ends. So she came in wanting to just do a big chop basically, and I was like, okay, well, let's see what we can save. But before I could actually do anything, I did have to get those locked up pieces taken off while the hair was dry. Because a lot of times people will see that there's matting or there's dreading. And some of it I can comb out. Other parts I wasn't able to comb out. So I did have to end up cutting some of her hair off, which she wanted to cut basically almost everything. And I was like, no, let's just see what we can salvage at this point. And then at the end, we'll cut whatever else needs to be cut. So when you guys are doing, like, having your units or you're wearing anything that covers the hair, you have to do your due diligence and do your maintenance at the same time. Maintenance would be under a wig, making sure that the hair is clean, making sure the hair is braided down. Even if it's two large braids, you still want to make sure that that hair is not hanging free under the unit, because it is going to do exactly what you taught it, and that is mat up or become dread-like because you are not combing through it, or it is not in a stabilized position where it won't actually dread or lock up from being basically manipulated too many times by putting the units on and taking them off. So what I did was go ahead and do the preliminary cut, and then I went and combed through her hair. You want to make sure that you do comb through it before you actually do the shampoo process. Now for her, because I knew that her hair was severely dehydrated and it was also very matted, I used our Moisture ELT Intense Moisturizing Shampoo. And then if you notice, I took a wide tooth comb, and with the shampoo process, I still kind of combed through the hair slightly. Now, this is not something that can be done with everyone, but with her hair, I wanted to make sure that it did not lock up again while I was doing the shampoo process, because your hair is going to do what you taught it. So that is the reason why I just gently went through the hair and just made sure that it was detangled. And then I did not use a clarifying shampoo, because clarifying shampoo is going to strip the hair of its natural oils, and it is going to lock the hair up even more than when you started. So that is the reason why I did the entire shampoo service with just Moisture ELT, because I wanted to make sure that that hair stayed hydrated, number one. Number two, I wanted to make sure that it stayed detangled. And number three, I did not need to use a full-on clarifying shampoo, such as our Herbal Detox shampoo, because her scalp was not in that state where it was just severely dirty. She didn't have a lot of buildup. It just needed a little bit of TLC. So you don't always have to use a clarifier, but I typically try to. And then for her conditioner, I did put on the Moisture ELT conditioner. And I also did a full color. So if you notice, her hair color has changed slightly. It's more like a mahogany color. The video is actually moving faster than I'm able to talk, so I know you get the picture. But we did do a refreshing color to cover her silver streaks. It was more of a mahogany, because what I noticed is she did have a lot of brassiness and green in her hair from preliminary color, or pre-existing color, should I say. So I used that mahogany to actually cancel out that green, and it did leave a very nice hue of like a very dark, it was kind of like a darker mahogany red. And it came out really, really pretty. So we just left it the way it was instead of going back to put another black on top of that. So her hair is a nice brown mahogany color. Now I'm using my H2 Pro 1-inch titanium flat iron to flat out or silk out her hair. Now, if you guys notice, before we started, her hair looked extremely short. Even with me cutting it, look at where her hair stopped. Now, don't get me wrong, we still have to go through and clean up her haircut, because the hair is severely uneven. We didn't do a preliminary cut to make it even all at one time, because there's really no way to do that. So now we can really see that I was able to salvage a good amount of her hair, which was great. Now, in her crown, she does have a mild to moderate case of alopecia. So that area is really, really thin. It actually is not scarred, so it is actually growing in. We just have to give it that time to grow in. So what I'm doing right now is I'm just basically giving her a haircut to clean up what we did or what we were able to salvage without us having to give her a very short cut. So it's not always a lost cause, guys. You can sometimes salvage the hair even when it's matted, even when it starts to dread. You just have to have that level of patience and have that level of trust for your stylist to be able to do what she thinks is necessary based on her skill set. If you heard me say that, I said based on his or her skill set. Not everyone understands the anatomy of the head, and not everyone understands that sometimes it may look bad, but it can actually be salvaged. And look, she still has a good amount of hair, even though we did have to do a cut because it was dreading. So what I sprayed on her hair was a little bit of Sebastian Shaper Plus, which helps to seal the cuticle for the actual styling process. And then I'm just going through and just doing some nice large section bumps on her hair. Look at the shine, guys. Like, this hair is glossified. I did not actually use the frizz tamer in this particular situation. I only used the Sebastian Shaper. So that tells you guys that the Moisture ELT is not to be slept on. It is to be used. Listen, that shampoo and conditioner leaves the hair feeling soft, silky, shiny, and just absolutely amazing, okay? So, guys, don't sleep on Moisture ELT. It's bomb. It's bomb, bomb, bomb. So in the crown of her head, I did have to use my 3/10 of an inch iron because that area had some little sprout hairs, which is the hairs that are growing in the area where she has the experienced the hair loss. And all I did was use the iron just to merely straighten that hair out slightly, just so she doesn't have what we call like a cabbage patch in the middle of her head, because it's going to stand up off her hair and then it's going to make the other hair stand up off of it as well. So what you want to make sure you do in that area, if there is growth, is just take a mild heat iron, which is like a very small iron, like the 3/10 of an inch or even a 1/2 inch iron, and just kind of go over that area just once slightly, just to get it to lay down and be a little more flat so that it will blend in with the remainder of the hair. And that's really important. You don't want the hair to be raised off of your client's head too much, because then it's going to make it very noticeable that she has an area there that is either balding or thinning. Okay. Another key point in this particular client's hair is, if you notice, her hairline is slightly sparse, but it is not to an extent where we have to worry too much. So all I did was take my 3/10 of an inch iron and just go through and also silk out that area as well. Now for the comb out, I want you guys to take notice to her layering and how we were able to actually save majority of the hair that she had actually dread up. I thought, honestly, if I can be quite honest, I really thought that I was going to have to cut a lot more than I did, and I didn't.
So thanks for watching my video, guys. Don't forget, if you're new to my channel, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button and thumbs up this video. Also, comment down below and tell me what you thought of the transformation on my client based on what we had to work with. As you know, she had her hair, it was nice and matted and dreaded, and we decided to do an awesome American haircut. Yeah. Just playing. But guys, like I said, please comment down below. Tell me what you thought about the transformation, like I said, based on what we had to work with. Also, if any of the products that were mentioned in the video is something that you'd like to get, please go to EliteHairCareUSA.com and click the link to add the promo code YouTube, YOUTUBE, to your order, and that's going to be on the checkout page. Okay? Also, what do you guys think of my new look? My brows have finally grown in. Yeah.